Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name's Phoebe. Today I wanted to talk about some of my niche fashion favorites, like my more specific, random kind of favorite things I've been loving. Some of which are trendy and like talked about already, some of which are just like random and I think specific to my personal style and how my style is evolving. So first I want to go through things that I like see out in the world that I want to either like acquire or emulate in my style. And then the second half of the video is going to be going through specific pieces of mine that I already own that are favorites of mine that I wear all the time. First thing I've been loving that's definitely a trend is a low-rise belt. So either a big belt or a small belt, any size belt, on low-rise pants or like on micro shorts or even a dress or a skirt, like just adding a belt where it's not necessarily needed but as an accent to sit low-waisted. I feel like it's a kind of more not accessible, what am I trying to say? It's a way to like ease yourself into drop waist, I guess, if you don't like an actual drop waist silhouette. Adding a low-rise belt to a dress or to a skirt can have that same cool like vintagey cool girl effect without having to commit to buying a low waist or drop waist piece. Does that make any sense? Next thing I've been loving is a mid-rise bootcut pant, whether it's jeans, whether it's trousers or suit pants or even like yoga pants. Not like a super fitted tight one, but the distinction I want to make is I feel like the trend right now is a low-rise baggy jean, like kind of puddles at the bottom, which I do love, but something that I will forever come back to is just a true mid-low-ish rise bootcut jean. I have loved them, in and out of them being trendy. I think they're so flattering and just so kind of like 90s, like true 90s aesthetic. And I feel like they're just so classic that I don't get sick of them because they're not like a really particular style. Like they're kind of middle of the road in terms of everything, in terms of rise, in terms of like how fitted they are, in terms of length. Like they don't puddle at the ground, but they're not cropped. They're just like chef's kiss, perfect type of pant, in my opinion. The next thing I've been loving is a color combination, and that's any combination of brown, burgundy, and gray. So either all three of them together or brown and burgundy together, burgundy and gray together, brown and gray together. I'm a big fan of mixing things that are like kind of close together in terms of color. Like I like black and brown, I've said that a million times. I like white and beige together. I like things that are like very similar in tone, but maybe just like contrast a little bit in terms of like warmth and saturation. I feel like brown, burgundy, and gray are all kind of similar on the scale of like, what's it called? Like the lightness to darkness scale. Is that tone or is tone color? I feel like that's tone and then hue is color. They're very similar tones, so they could clash like technically, but they just look really effortless and pretty together, and they do have the contrast of like the warmth and saturation and hue of them, but like a very subtle contrast. Does that make sense? Next thing I've been loving, which is definitely trending this summer, is wedges. I've said this before. I think the like kitten heel height wedges are what's going to be super trending because the kitten heel craze is still like kind of going strong. But I'm kind of into the like classic taller wedges, like a tall cork wedge or like basket weave wedge or something. I love the mini ones too. Any type of wedge. And the reason I know I love it, and it's not just because it's a trend, is because I've loved it forever. Like I said, I maybe stopped wearing them when they were like decidedly out of trend. But as soon as like I heard whispers of them coming back, I got so excited. That's how I know they're like part of my personal style. Next thing I love that I've loved for the past, I think 2 years, is just basic camis. Wearing a basic cami as your top. I feel like when people say basic tank, usually they're talking about like a ribbed, maybe like 2-inch thick strap kind of tank top, or like the one I'm wearing now that's like a little bit thicker of like trim or piping around the edges. I love just a classic cami that's like spaghetti strap with or without the adjustable straps on them, preferably no built-in bra, and preferably a little bit relaxed. I don't like a tight cami. I like a relaxed cami. I feel like it looks like hot mom off duty more so than like other types of basic tanks for some reason. I just love them. And the next thing I've been loving is black and white stripes which all of these are like very simple, like basic things, but I've just been extra into black and white stripes specifically. I love when people mix stripes, like mixing thin stripes with thick stripes or vertical stripes with horizontal stripes. I feel like that's my kind of pattern mixing, is mixing two different variations of the same pattern rather than wearing stripes with polka dots or plaid with florals or whatever. Like, I love mixing two of like the same pattern with either a slight variation in the pattern itself, like thick or thin stripes, or a slight variation in the color or in like the concentration of the stripes. Do you know what I mean? There's a specific photo of Julia Roberts I saw on Pinterest, and she's wearing silk striped pants and a striped, just like short sleeved shirt. And I don't know why I was just so drawn to that. And that's something I really want to play with. Moving on to my pieces that I own that have become favorites. Starting off with these Asics gel shoes. I don't remember the like specific style number of them, but these actually fall into something I was talking about before, which is the colorway of like this super dark gray with this burgundy. I love these. I've only had them for like 2 months and they're already getting worn because I just wear them so much. I love these. These have converted me to a dark sneaker girl rather than a light sneaker girl. I love the way they look with dark wash jeans. I love the way they look with trousers. They're just very, very me. Next favorite of mine, I had to pull out of the dirty laundry because I wear it to sleep all the time, is this t-shirt by Ghost Cowboy. I talked about this t-shirt in my how to shop video. This is the t-shirt in question that I was debating buying for so long, and I finally got it, and it's my favorite thing. One of my favorite things that I own. It just brings me an immense amount of joy. And I love the illustration style on it. I just think it's the cutest thing. Next favorite that I've also talked about recently on this channel is this pair of pants. They are indeed a mid-rise bootcut pant. I inherited them from my grandma. I found them in her closet and was allowed to take them, and they are probably my favorite pair of pants that I own. I just like don't see anything like them anymore. Like, I feel like maybe this like style of striped pant has been in, like maybe a little bit more colorful, but usually they're just like a very 2024 cut. I just love that these are like thin, kind of fitted, but pretty relaxed, and a mid-rise boot cut. I just love them. They're so classic, and they're just special because they remind me of my grandma. My next favorite is my tan leather bag, which would be no surprise to you if you've seen my last few videos. I thrifted this in Australia. It's Italian leather, and I got it for like $14, and I just got it mended because I wore it to death and the leather strap broke, and I just picked it up from getting mended and I missed the smell of it. I love this bag so much. I love the color of it. I could not be happier. And I feel like it goes with any outfit. My next niche favorite are these two pieces of jewelry that I got when I was at my grandparents' lake house recently. They had like a little artist market going on, and something that I can always count on is that at the artist market there will be people selling jewelry that they make out of sea glass. And so I got these earrings, and usually I never consider buying pieces like this because they're just so like quintessential grandma. Like, all of the older adults at the lake have sea glass jewelry, and so it just like kind of turned me off to it when I was younger. And now recently I've just been loving that vibe, like that classic mom grandma fashion. Another thing that I got is this bracelet from another vendor who made it there, and it's another one that just like reminds me of jewelry that my grandma would wear, but in the best way possible. Pieces like that are ones that I like just love so much because they have special attachment and meaning to them. Like, I feel like if I saw these at the mall, I wouldn't really like look twice at them, but because of where I got them and the memory attached to them, they're just like my favorite things ever. And I feel like I can say that about so many pieces in my closet. Like, the context of how I got them or where I got them or how I was feeling when I got them makes such a difference of how I feel about them. Another favorite of mine is just this classic beige knit sweater that I've had for years now. And I think the reason I love it so much is because it reminds me of like 90s, early 2000s rom-com or TV show with like a cute girl at the beach just like drowning herself in this big sweater over her bathing suit. That's the vision I had in mind when I got this. I love a big sweater in the summer, like a summer nights sweater. That is the vibe that this gives me, and it makes me so happy. I love a clothing piece that's just so not polarizing. Like, I love expressing myself with unique pieces sometimes, but sometimes I just love a piece that you look at it and like can't identify anything wrong with it or anything you would get sick of about it. It's just like so classic and it makes you like comforted. And the last thing, another classic piece that I also talked about in the first half of this video is just this brown cami. I love how this one comes up a little bit higher. It might be like a big size of a children's cami because no matter how long I put the straps, it still comes up high. But this specific tone of brown, I love so much, and I love that the trim of it is like a little bit lighter in color. Just like this with a pair of jeans, I feel like is such a foolproof outfit that is like the definition of my personal style. I feel like my personal style is very simple 90s, early 2000s mom, grandma vibes, but like kind of Western leaning. Like, I love a brown, beige, denim, boots or clogs outfit. Something as simple as a cami like this can become one of my favorite things that I own. Thanks so much for watching. If there's any specific like niche piece in your closet that you just could not live without and you can't even put your finger on why, comment down below. I would love to read through some of them. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to. And with that, I'll see you in a few days with another fun one. Bye guys.